Right, welcome guys. Can it get much worse for the Joker? Or Joker, Folie, Deux? Yes it can, yeah. Historic second weekend drop. We don't have the full figures yet. We'll probably get them towards the end of today when the sort of Sunday figures start coming through. But it's real bad. The drop is worse than the Marvels. It's a historic drop. So, Terrifier 3 is winning, which is good. You know, people just... People want to get out of the Hollywood paradigm, like an indie horror flick. Great, I'm thankful that it's winning. Art the Clown, this sort of horror schlock fest. Great, good. It's absolutely smashing the box office. Really doing well. It's made for absolutely no money at all. So incredible that it's doing so well. Let's take a look at some of these numbers because it's hilarious. It's really funny just how bad Joker is doing. So the indie slasher pick Terrifier 3 is easily winning a weekend of curiosity and carnage at the domestic box office, where Joker Folie Deux is suffering the worst decline in history for a comic book movie and one of the biggest among any film. So Warner Brothers, maybe, start using the old adage of the customer is always right next time. Maybe you should try pleasing the customer. Maybe all of Hollywood should start pleasing the customer. The majority, yeah? God, just, it's insane how bad this movie was and how bad it's doing. But, as Joker said, you get what you deserve. So Cineverse and Icon Events Terrifier 3quel is on course to come in first with an opening in the $16 to $17 million range from only 2,000 theatres. Not even 2,000 theatres. That's amazing. That is absolutely incredible. $17 million for 2,000 theatres it was showing in. That's crazy good. That is really good. To put it into perspective, right? The Wild Robot, third weekend, so yeah, it's not opening weekend, but third weekend, it's got nearly 4,000 theatres and it's at 13.9 million. If Terrifier 3 was in more theatres, the likelihood is this would be much bigger. That's amazing. So Warner Brothers Beetlejuice is still continuing, so that's great. It's literally in... you can watch it at home now, but it's still in theatres, and it's still doing really well. I mean, it's done 7.2 to 7.4 million this weekend. That's... whilst it's in theatres, guys. Again... do you see what people are gravitating towards? Wild Robot didn't even look like a movie made by Hollywood. Terrifier, not made by Hollywood. Beetlejuice, old school Hollywood. Yeah, it's doing really well. I mean, the fact that Beetlejuice, whilst it's at home now, can still beat out Joker Folie Deux, that's madness. That is insane. So Joker Folie Deux, just how bad is it doing, guys? Well, it's fell off a cliff. It's still got 4,100 theatres, right? It's going to take an estimated $6.8 million this weekend. Now, that is a historic decline of 82%. 82% drop-off. I said this to someone in my comments. They told me that they work in the industry and they know that all this bad word of mouth will make this movie a success. People will want to go watch it. And I said, no, it won't. I said, no, it won't at all. I said, this movie is going to absolutely tank next weekend. I said, just watch. 82%. Historic drop. So the Marvels had actually held that record before. Worst second weekend, 78% drop. So it's doing great. It's doing absolutely amazing. Terrifier 3 and then the Joker just destroyed itself. Absolutely destroyed itself. Now, Deadline actually has it ever so slightly higher. They're saying Terrifier 3 could be at 17 to 18 million plus. Deadline's normally a bit more on the money, by the way. So I'm more inclined to believe this than I am Hollywood Reporter. That's brilliant. And they even say this. There's even a school of thought that this movie could go way higher after a B cinema score. which is very high for a horror movie by cinema score standards. It's just crazy. Absolutely crazy. So, yeah, Terrifier 3 winning. We'll just scroll through some of this and have a look. So, Joker Folie Deux, again, 82% drop. $6.7 to $7 million per industry estimates. That's the absolute worst hold for a DC character movie in the history of the brand on the big screen. Triple note, James Gunn and Peter Safran's DC Studios did not steer or shepherd Joker 2. The Joaquin Phoenix Lady Gaga R-rated musical is even getting kicked out of number 2 by a cartoon robot, which we've covered already. And then another one by Beetlejuice. So it says this drop isn't a shocker, as we saw Joker 2 doing worse than the second frame of Marvel Cinematic Universe's The Marvels, which was minus 78%, which was the worst hold for that Disney labels movies. Joker 2's second week drop is steeper than the previous worst drop for a DC character movie, which was from The Flash. It's also more severe than the second weekend of 2021's The Suicide Squad, which was 72%. Which had a theatrical day and date release with HBO Max. Those dynamic distributed titles always tumbled in their second weekend. The only nice thing to say here about Joker 2 is that its second weekend is more than Wonder Woman 1984's second weekend of 5.4 million, which, of course, was due to theatre closures during COVID, and it's better than the second weekend of Jonah Hex, which was 1.6 million, which owns the worst opening ever for a DC movie at 5.3 million. But Joker 2 is still the worst DC drop-off ever. Insane. Absolutely insane. Now, we'll get all the official figures coming in at some point today. Later on, the Deadline likes to update them a little bit later. A couple more hours from now. I am, however, going to be watching Terrifier 3 in a few hours from now whilst those numbers drop. So I thought I'd just get them out now, and then we might do an update if they are significantly different. Or if there's anything funnier to add, to be honest. But Deadline's normally pretty accurate, so we can say that this 82% drop is pretty bang on the money, I would say. For Joker 2. So there you go. What else do you say? I'm looking forward to Terrifier 3. Have you watched it? Let me know down below. Glad to see an indie movie winning on the big screen. Anyway, cheers guys. Take care. Bye-bye now.